I didn't want to open a restaurant. I don't like restaurants. I think restaurants are cold and robotic and they don't feel comfortable. And I wanted a place that feels like you're just in my house. So I designed it to feel like my house. I'm Flynn McGarry, and I'm the chef of Gem in New York. The restaurant is called Gem, which is my mom's name backwards. It was also her idea. I started by doing these dinners in my mom's house, so sort of an homage to what those dinners felt like and were, but also we're sort of hidden behind these trees on the little street that like you would walk down, you could walk right by it and not even know we were here. I started cooking when I was 10. I think probably the first memory of cooking I actually have was, it was like Mother's Day. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna make like brunch for everyone. And I made like chicken salad or something. But I was like, I'm gonna like poach the chicken or do something different with it. And it felt very fancy at the time. But then I just sort of became obsessed with sort of the more kind of intricate and creative side of cooking. When I started cooking, my mom was like, okay, we'll go get you like a cookbook. She took me like Barnes & Noble or whatever, and I was 10, so I wanted the most expensive thing that was on the top shelf. So I got the French Laundry cookbook, and that just sort of like initially blew my mind as far as like what cooking was. So I found out about Alinea because he used to work at French Laundry. Then I got that cookbook. And Love Madison Park, it was the same thing. The Love Madison Park sort of internship, I met them on their book signing tour. I was talking to them about how I had been sort of cooking some things from the book. And they're like, oh, do you have any photos of it? And I showed them a bunch of photos of the stuff that I had cooked. And it looked surprisingly like the book. They were like, if you ever want to come sort of hang out in the kitchen in New York, let us know. And then like a month later, I made my way here. I was free labor, so everyone was down to have it. I mean, the general thing with restaurants at that level is just the absurd attention to detail with everything that you learn. And that is something that I've kind of has stayed with me of like, everything I do in every regard is kind of thought all the way through. You're aware, yeah, nothing's gonna be perfect, but still having the strive for that helps you wake up way too early every day and go to bed way too late every day. The beet dish has been on the menu for like 3 years now. That's the only thing that won't leave. It was sort of inspired by this, one, a feeling that I hate beets, and two, this sort of want for giving someone the most savory, intense course on their menu is a vegetable. Trips a lot of people out intentionally. The best dishes are the ones that people are just like, I don't understand what that was, but it was delicious. I stopped going to school actually when I was like 15. I had a full-time job since I was 12. I've never really focused too much on like being like, I need to have like a normal teenage experience because I'm just have literally never had no desire to do that. My investors and everyone would not be super happy if I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna take some time off the restaurant to like go play video games. Like the issues and stuff and qualms and stuff that I deal with are those of someone who is definitely not 19. I knew everyone was always gonna talk about my age, and like, do I love that? Not really, but it's something that I always knew I was gonna have to deal with if I wanted to do this. Being young definitely sort of helps you get a lot of opportunities, but then once you get those, people seem to have much higher expectations for what you can do than that of a normal person regardless of their age. A big thing for me is sort of dealing with having to pull back from the actual cooking myself and focus more on the bigger picture. I'm a control freak in every regard. There's not a single thing in this restaurant that I will let go by without me looking at it. It's a blessing and a curse. We didn't want to compromise the experience and the overall vision that we have for your dinner by being cheap or not giving you the best quality of every ingredient and not being able to hire the right amount of staff so you feel comfortable. We also have a sense of humor about ourselves and understand what we do is very absurdist and over the top, so we like to also have fun. We spend literally 18 hours a day together, 6 days a week, so I have to like them. So I could not hire people that I don't like because I would just hate it. For so long, this has been the goal, and now that I've kind of reached this point, it's sort of the restaurant dictates what's next, and I'm just sort of along for the ride. I did go to Coachella a couple of years ago to cook, but was not a fan.